everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Bellissimo, and today's video we're going to be going over fanboys. Now this video is for anyone who is learning how to join sentences together, or anyone who needs a little bit of a refresher on what these are. Now if you're an English speaker, you probably have never really heard of these, or if you have, you haven't heard of them too often. We mostly kind of use the A, the B, and the O in our fanboys and kind of forget the rest for the most part. So if you'd like to kind of expand your knowledge on what these are, watch this video and I'll go into the different coordinating conjunctions. Now, these are all called coordinating conjunctions. They're all written right down here. Coordinating conjunctions. It's a nice long fancy word for that you're joining two sentences together. For example, I could say I am hungry, comma, and I want to eat cheese. Okay, so this is my example sentence. I have a full sentence on this side. I am hungry. I have a full sentence on this side. I want to eat cheese. We're joining it right here with our comma, very important, and our coordinating conjunction. Now, there's a video about how to do this using your commas, but today we're going to be focusing in on this right here. So, coordinating conjunction is just a fancy word for this set of words right here. So we're looking at for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. So let's take a look at when we use them. So this is a little bit about what I was just talking about. They're called coordinating conjunctions. They're used with a comma to combine two different sentences together into the same sentence. So we have an example right here. I want to read a book. I want to drink some tea. I want to read a book, comma, and I want to drink some tea. Okay, this is completely right. This one is completely right. Now, you could also use a couple of these words in different ways, especially when you're talking about compound subjects or compound predicates. A subject is simply the action of the statement. In this case, it's I. Sorry, not the action, the person who's doing the action. So in this case, it's I. It could be she. It could be Amy. It could be the government. So it's whatever the sentence is doing the action in the sentence. So whatever that is, that's going to be your subject. And then we have our predicate. Our predicate is going to be the action that the sentence takes. So I want to do two things in this sentence. I want to read a book and I want to drink some tea. There are two different actions, action 1 and action 2, but only one subject. You'll notice that right there. And in this case, you can use your and. This is not how we're going to be focusing on these specific fanboys with our and right there. We're going to be focusing on them more in this sentence right here. I want to read a book and I want to drink some tea. So if you take a look at this guy, we have two subjects. It's myself in both of these, right? Or it's I in both of them. I want, and then we have our two actions, read a book and drink some tea. And the wanting, of course. So in this case, this is how we're going to be looking at it when you have two subjects and two predicates. Now, this is a very basic introduction into what is a subject and what is a predicate. If you'd like a more extensive video on this topic right here, let me know in the comment section below, and I can definitely make a nice video on that. But today we're going to be talking about fanboys, and I don't want this video to be too long. So let's get into fanboys. So we're going to start and just go down the entire acronym. So we're going to start with our for. For shows that there's a casual relationship between two things. I wanted to go to work, for I wanted to get paid. Now this one in spoken English is not going to be heard as commonly. Again, our common ones are and, but, or, but for is used a lot in writing, and it's going to just show that there's a casual relationship. Okay, if I go to work, I will get paid. So I wanted to go to work, so I wanted to get paid. You could also write, I wanted to go to work because I wanted to get paid. That might be one that you would hear or see more often. This is a different form of or function of grammar, and I might be making a video on this in the future, but right now, for works completely in this sentence. So that's how you use for. You're showing a casual relationship between two things. And will join two common elements together. So two things that are alike or in common. I walked to the store and I bought some cheese. Okay, the thing in common right here is what I am doing. I am doing action 1 and I am doing action 2. Okay, it's showing a relationship between why I went to the store and what I bought or what I did. Where did I buy the cheese? I bought the cheese at the store. So you have a kind of relationship between these two things. We have some examples coming up at the end of the video where I'll show you how you can kind of use a lot of these fanboys, but that's a great sentence right there. Our next one is nor. Nor shows that the action is negative. So in this one we have he didn't want to run, nor did he want to jump. So imagine there's this little boy Billy, and he's in gym class with all of his peers, and all of his peers really wanted to run, and they wanted to jump over this hurdle. And here's little Billy being like, I don't want to do this. Okay, all these guys are all really happy. Let's give them eyes. They really want to do this, but Billy's not happy. He didn't want to run, nor did he want to jump. So it's showing that it's negative. It's something that you do not want to happen. Okay, so our next one right here is but. But will show the difference between the two elements that are mentioned. I wanted to go to the store, but I didn't have money. Okay, the difference is being my want to go to the store, right? Here's the store. Okay, but the relationship between them and the difference is if I were to go to the store, you would expect that I would have money to go to the store, but in this case, I did not. Okay, so in here we're using our but. Or being our common next one, it shows an alternative, something that you can do instead of or in place of. So I could go to London, right? Or we could go to Rome. The difference here being like I would be going to London on my own. Here's myself, and then I'm a terrible drawer, but this is Big Ben. I'm happy. Okay, so this is kind of like option A. Or you could choose option B, right? Where we're having many of us. We're all very excited here. There's at least 2 of us for a we, and we are going to Rome. There's my beautiful drawing of the Colosseum. So you have an option. A lot of the times you'll see this in things like restaurants, when you could have fries or a salad. That's where you'll see this word most commonly. So it's giving you options. You can take one option or you could take the other option. Yet. So, yet will emphasize the difference between two elements it joins. It's very common and similar to the word but. However, it's going to kind of say that the second thing that you're joining, the second element is not something that is ordinarily expected. So she wanted to go skydiving. So there's this person who wants to go skydiving, and they want to go in the airplane. This is my terrible airplane. There's my airplane. It's going into the clouds. You would expect that this person is old, right? You expect them that they know what they're doing. She wanted to go skydiving Yet, here's the unexpected thing. She was only 3 years old. Right? She's just this little baby. She wants to go skydiving. You wouldn't expect a 3-year-old to want to go jump out of a plane. So you're saying that the thing that is happening is not expected. Alright, and our next one, our last one here is so. This suggests that something is needed because of what is mentioned at the beginning of the sentence. This is more like a cause and effect. Thing 1 happens, so thing 2 must happen. This is not like a you choose between option 1 or option 2. This is, this happens, so this happens right here. He wanted a picture, so I took his camera and snapped one. Or I snapped a picture. Okay, so this is showing a relationship. He wanted something, so I did it. Cause and effect. Now I have 3 sentences here that we're going to look at. I will read them out loud. I'll have 2 sentences on either side because we're dealing with our sentences, right? With our subjects being here, he, I, and our 2 different verbs, wanting and took. So I'm going to give you 2 sentences, and then I want you to pause the video and try to think about what coordinating conjunction that you can put with it. Each one of them has several options, and I'll talk about the different options, but let's jump into this. Okay, so our first example here is she went to the academy. She must have studied Aristotle. The academy being like a kind of school, and Aristotle being an old Greek guy. Okay, Greek philosopher. So what I want you to do is pause this video and try to combine these 2 sentences. Are you finished? Did you come back? Okay, great. So let's take a look at some of the options here. So obviously what we're going to be doing in any of these is we're going to be adding our comma. This is going to be becoming a lowercase letter, and we're going to be putting our word right here. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about that word right here. So she went to the academy, so she must have studied Aristotle. That means that going to the academy is what caused her to study Aristotle. So she went to the school, and the school made sure that she studied Aristotle. Okay, this shows a causal relationship. She must have studied Aristotle because she went to the academy. Another option that you could use is yet. Yet is where the second option is something that is not expected. So maybe this is not a philosophy school, maybe this is an art school. So that she wouldn't be studying Aristotle. So you're not expecting her to study this one. Or it doesn't teach, or maybe it doesn't allow them to learn about Aristotle. So there's something going on there where you wouldn't expect her to learn about Aristotle. Our next one that we could use is but. She went to the academy, but she must have studied Aristotle. That means there's a big difference in what they study at the academy, and she is somehow studying on her own about Aristotle. And then our last one here that I can think of is she went to the academy, for she must have studied Aristotle. That means that she must have studied Aristotle before going to the academy. So here she is, and she is reading a book. That's my book. So she's reading this book about Aristotle, and then she takes some sort of test, and then she goes to the academy. Okay, so there's different options here depending on how you want the sentences to be read. Okay, everybody, so that was one example that we had up there. If you'd like to see more examples, let me know in the comment section below, and I can make a YouTube video with just examples about fanboys, but let's keep this under 15 minutes. So come up with some fanboy sentences of your own and post them below. I'll take a look at them, and if you have any other comments or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and goodbye!